Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hibiscus Sports Complex and Game 2 of the QBL Round 13 coverage between the Southwest Metro Pirates and the Ipswich Force. After the QBL women in the Pirates went down to Ipswich by 13, it's now time for the men, and another great game we have for us here lined up. Southwest currently sitting themselves in the 7th position with an 8-6 run. Ipswich on a 5-8 downfall. So they're on 10th place in the ladder, Southwest in 7th. Both teams still with a possibility to end up in the final 8 leading into semi-finals and quarterfinals. Southwest in particular desperately need to get themselves a win today as they're only teetering on the edge of 7th position, currently tied on 8 wins with the Rockhampton Rockets. So definitely looking for a big win here this afternoon to cement themselves in that 7th position and work their way towards moving into 6th or 5th, trying to get above the Brisbane Capitals or the Cairns Marlins. And it is going to be a great game here today as Ipswich has had a couple of really good games over the last few weeks. Definitely picking up in terms of their overall performance out on the floor and a lot of really good coverage across the offensive line as well. So they're going to come out with a couple of big players, and we've been really impressed with the likes of Kyle Harvey, an absolutely mega player in terms of the QBL, and he's been having a great season, as has Garrett Hall and Jason Ralph, as always, their young captain. He always has an outstanding game coming out on the floor as well. So there's lots of things that Southwest are going to need to keep their eyes on coming into the game. But looking at our own Pirates, we got a big team here, and everyone seems to be on the floor and healthy, which is always good for us at the moment as well. Obviously with the Pirates having a lot of injuries throughout the season. Ryan Vines, Princeton Onworth, Vel Williams Jr., I think still out and not playing in tonight's game, unfortunately. But the other boys are back and absolutely ready to kick this game off, because it is going to be a big one. So stick around, get yourselves ready, because it is going to be a huge game here this afternoon, and Southwest fighting out for a must-win game against the Ipswich Force. And just looking into things before we're leading in, Kyle Harvey comes into the game leading all scorers against the Pirates. He's coming in averaging 28 points a game, well and truly above our own Princeton Onwas, who's averaging just over 19 a game. But Princeton jumps back up into the #1 spot for tonight's game with an average of 10 rebounds a game over Kyle Harvey, averaging just over 7. So it is going to be a big matchup between those two players. They're both so dominant, and it's going to be an awesome matchup that I've been looking forward to seeing for many weeks now since the last time these teams played, because it is going to be a big matchup. And those two boys, they're two big bodies and two very strong scorers on the inside. So it'll be interesting to see how they match up, because they're going to have their hands absolutely full and trying to make position on the inside of the keyway to get those buckets. So to kick things off, Southwest is going to come out, as always, with their captain, Ryan Vines, Princeton Onwas, Troy Thompson, TT, starting things out for Southwest as well. They're also going to have the young gun, Tyrell Harrison, and also Nick Stoddart starting out with the Pirates. The Ipswich Force, they're going to come out with Garrett Hall, Jason Ralph, Kyle Harvey, Josh Spears, and Joseph Owens. Nope, sorry, Mitchell Poulain was the other starter for the Ipswich Force. The jump ball not starting out the way anyone would hope, but Ipswich is going to come down with it to kick off the game. Jason Ralph has it, and straight away it is turned over by Poulain. The Southwest with the first opportunity to score as Vine slows his pace and drives in. Unable to convert. Troy Thompson with the offensive rebound, turning it over on the pass. Nice pass there as Jason Ralph can't quite convert on their end of the floor either. Both teams starting with easy missed opportunities from the layup, but Ryan Vines breaks that straight away with a right-hand three. And Ipswich taking things nice and slow now, taking the ball a little bit slower. They're rolling the shot clock down into single digits. Jason Ralph holding it on the far right wing, but we've got a foul on the inside. And they're going to call that against Josh Spears for the push in the back on the captain, Vines. Definitely not the start that Spears would want to have in his game, picking up an offensive foul in the first 50 seconds of the game. But a good opportunity for Southwest to put a couple of extra points on the board and extend their 3-point early lead. Vines kicks around to Tyrell Harrison. The big man tries to drive, but good defense there from Poulain. And a turnover there from Stoddart. Jason Ralph coming down with it. He drives all the way to the bucket and rolls one in for two. Turning around asking the referees about where the foul was, but it looked pretty okay, straight up defense. Southwest with it now. Onwas has it. He drives baseline. Kicks into Tyrell Harrison, who slams it down on the inside. A good start from the big man on the inside. Poulain underneath, tries to fire away, but good defense from behind from Tyrell Harrison. As Onwas now goes to the inside, but a big block from behind from Spears. But they turn the ball over on the out of bounds as Harvey tries to regain. TT finds Harrison on the inside, and Harrison files a long jumper for two. Harrison off to a strong start here for the Pirates, getting himself 4 points early on. And that's another interesting matchup that we'll have to keep an eye on throughout the game. Ralph versus Vines. Two very young captains in the league, but two very strong players as well. As Harrison again finds himself on the inside. Not sure whether that was a shot or a pass, but either way, it did not work out the way he was hoping, with the out of bounds turning the ball over for Ipswich. Ralph brings the ball back in for Ipswich. So we see Spears driving cross court. Right hand finger roll, draws the foul. That one getting called against Troy Thompson. So Spears going to go for the line for two. Spears first is good. And the second is good, closing the gap down to 3. It is 7-4. Harrison again with the ball on the inside, but kicks back out to Onwas, who fires the bottom of the net for the 3. We've got a big foul on the inside there. A lot of contact. Referee's going to come together. Oh, no, it looked like they were going to. Foul getting called there against number 9, Nick Stoddart, picking up another early one. Ralph misses the first. But makes the second. And a huge block there from Harrison. Unable to get the rebound. Pulling it back in. Poulain gets the putback and fires that for 2. So 3 points now, the gap. Onwas finds TT on the inside. Kicks over to Harrison. One dribble fire, a little bit too strong, coming straight off the backboard. Josh Spears unable to connect on that occasion. Southwest coming down with the defensive board. Stoddart fakes out, kicks to TT. Southwest taking things nice and slow here offensively, just trying to find the open man to take the right shot. Princeton Onwas baseline triple, not quite able to find its way on the inside, and we've got the foul on Tyrell Harrison underneath. Harrison not looking happy with the foul call there. Thought he did a pretty good job of reaching up and grabbing the ball out of the air. But nevertheless, that's the third team foul for the Pirates. So Ipswich with it now. It's 7-10. It's still only a 3-point game. Very low scoring as well. We're halfway through the quarter and only 17 on the board. As Ralph drives right around Onwas and fires away for a nice little jumper for 2 on the inside. Onwas again finds Vines on the baseline. He drives, tries to kick into Onwas. Bounces off Poulain's leg. Picked up by Harvey, and Ipswich on the move down the court. Spears fires away a 3, and that rattles home. 10 apiece. And Southwest not happy with how things are looking, so they're going to take a timeout. It is 5 minutes down in the first quarter between the Southwest Metro Pirates and the Ipswich Force. So we'll take a timeout, but we'll be back with you for more action shortly. And back with you here from Hibiscus Sports Complex, a Pirate Ship. It's 10-12. Ipswich Force managing to get themselves in the lead by 2. But Southwest going to kick things off here to start after the timeout. Tyrell Harrison might be able to break the drought. He fires on the inside. Can't quite get it there, but Princeton Onwas goes back, fires away for 2 and draws the foul as well. That one going against Josh Spears. So he evens it out at 12 apiece, and Onwas will go to the line for 1. Onwas, a very strong shooter from the free throw line as well, but as always, the commentator's jinx, it makes him miss it. Way too soft, hitting the front of the rim. And a big block there from Onwas, but they're going to get him for the foul from behind. Onwas can't believe that he was called for that one. Garrett Hall going strong to the bucket. Onwas looked like he smacked it down from behind, but the referee is going to say that he made contact with the back of the head on Hall. So Hall going to go for the line for 2. And he misses the first. But makes the second. Ipswich back in the lead by a point. We're just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter of action here at Hibiscus Sports Complex. Onwas with it now in the far corner. Jake Allen driving left, finds a cutting Onwas, makes his way into the key. Tries to dish off to Troy Thompson, but he wasn't quite ready for it. A little bit of miscommunication. And Ipswich Force coming down with the ball. Ipswich fast on the move. Good defense there from Vines. Hall firing a deep two. That's no good, but Kwan pulling the offensive rebound and kicking it back up to Ralph. Harvey with it now, breaks left on Onwas. Very strong defense from Onwas, forcing Harvey into the 24-second shot clock violation. Could not have asked more defensively from Onwas on that occasion, keeping his ground in front, keeping his hands out of it. Very good defensive position, and Kyle Harvey just not quite aware of where the shot clock was and unable to get the ball away. Thompson with it now for the Pirates as the shot clock rolls down into single digits. Vines with a very quick handoff to Jake Allen underneath the bucket, and he puts it away. Pirates back in the lead by a single digit, but not for long as Josh Spears drains a top of the key three. He takes the Force back into the lead by 2. The Southwest works it around, trying to find the way back into it. Troy Thompson fires one off the backboard, but Jason Ralph comes down with the defensive rebound. He breaks left on Vines and makes a shot over the top of Onwas, taking the lead back out to 4. Princeton Onwas, his ball just rolls over the top of the rim and out. The Force on the move down as Troy Thompson with the big rejection there on the Garrett Hall drive to the bucket. Onwas with the right hand on the left-hand side, puts one to the bottom of the net, taking it back down to only 2. The Southwest trying to work their way back into this game, playing some strong defense. Bit of a head clash there between Spears and Jake Allen at the top of the key. But a good break there on the right-hand side, making the ball there for Alec Godinet. But Ryan Vines with a foot violation on the out-of-bounds pass. I don't think he got himself fully out of bounds before he passed it in. So there's going to be a turnover and an Ipswich ball on the baseline. A Southwest goes to the bench. I think the Pirates thought there was a timeout there, but it was just a couple of substitutions. So ball back into it again straight away. So Harvey passing it in for the Force, up to the top of the key for Ralph. Josh Spears wide open on the three-point line, a little bit too soft on that occasion, hitting the front of the rim. Southwest coming down with the board as Troy Thompson with it at the top of the 3. But there's going to be a call on the inside in favor of the Southwest Pirates. That one's going to go against Josh Spears. Obviously a little bit of push and shove underneath in the bucket. I couldn't quite see what happened there. But Ipswich are going to go to the bench and sub out Spears. That'll be his 3rd personal. We're only 8 minutes into the first quarter. So Spears is going to be sitting on the bench for quite some time, I imagine. So he's gone and has sat it down as Joseph Owens checks in for the Force. As we see Kyle Harvey going to work underneath. Couldn't make it work the first time. Managed to get the offensive rebound off the tip. And put back there, rejected for Godinay. And very strong defense from the Pirates underneath, stopping the ball. Ball getting knocked out of court. We're just trying to get the shot clock reset to 8 seconds. So 8 seconds on the shot clock after a strong defensive passage of play there from the Pirates. Ball goes straight into Godinay underneath, tries to fire over the top of TT and gets it to roll. 6 points to the advantage now for the Force. Jake Allen has it for the Pirates. He finds a way to get the ball inside, and straight away James Ringholt goes to town inside and gets the 2. Coach Downer looking a little bit confused. Pirates spending too much time celebrating, not enough time playing defense. Ran away a little bit too early. Troy Thompson gets subbed out for the Pirates. Lockie Venus getting subbed in for the first time this game. Kwan gets the ball into the recently subbed in Jarrett Hepahai Karini for the Force. Kwan takes a deep 2 and finds the bottom of the net. He takes the lead back up to 6. Nice little jump shot there from Kwan. Shot clock down to single digits. Southwest needing to go to work. Jake Allen is the man to do it, and he finds the bottom of the net on a left-hand corner three-pointer. The gap down to 3. There is 30 seconds to go on the game clock. And almost a turnover from the Force as the ball gets knocked out of court. Hepahei Karini almost turning it out. There's about a 17-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock, so Ipswich won't be able to hold for the last shot as Kwan has it when the ball rolls down into single digits. And an air ball there from Hepahai Karini. Southwest coming down with the defensive rebound. 15 on the game clock. Jake Allen with it for the Pirates. Tendagai Machando kicks out to Allen. Allen finds his way into the K. He works his way through and can't get the ball to roll. But he'll get the foul and he'll go to the line for a couple of shots. Won't be able to get the Pirates in front leading into the quarter time, but he'll be able to close the deficit. Jake Allen goes 1 from the free throw. Second one to come. And the second, so it's a 1-point differential. 6 seconds to go on the game clock. The pass, very aggressive there from Harvey. Ipswich needs to fire, but they're too late. Or they might be too late. Referee is going to come together and assess that one as to whether it left the fingers. And they have waved it away, so just a fraction of a second too late off the fingers on that occasion. So it's 23-24. The Ipswich Force just finding themselves in front leading into the first quarter. But that is the break, so we're going to take one as well. But we'll be back with you shortly with more QBL Round 13 action shortly. And back with you here at the Pirate Ship. It is Hibiscus Sports Complex. The Southwest Metro going down by 1 point leading into the first quarter. But it was quite high scoring in the end and a great point spread across the Pirates as well. So definitely sharing the love. Jake Allen only playing half the quarter, ending up on 7 points. Princeton Onwas also on 7. The captain Vines on 3. And Tendagai Machando on 2. Tyrell Harrison 4. So a great spread across the entire Southwest team. Coming down to the other end for the Ipswich Force, Jason Ralph on 7. Josh Spears managed to get away 8. And Alec Godinay managed to get away 4 as well. Both teams working hard on the rebounds, but Ipswich coming out in the lead with 13. 7 of those offensive, so definitely working hard on the offensive rebound side. Southwest only managing to get 9, and both teams' turnover count not in a good place. Southwest turning the ball over on 7 occasions, Ipswich on 3. So not a good position there for the Southwest Metro Pirates. They definitely want to try and control that ball a little bit more and not turn it over as much as they have. As we see Kyle Harvey take a nice little keyway jump shot there for 2. Taking the lead back out to 3 for the Force. And speaking of the turnover count, Southwest again adding to that figure, turning the ball over again. That'll be their 8th in the quarter. Sorry, 8th in the game so far. So not a good position for them to be in. Just no control going on the ball at the moment. A little bit of communication there going on between the referees and the coaching staff. See the ball get knocked out of bounds there by Southwest. Tendagai Machando playing a strong defensive game up against Jason Ralph. Ball going straight into the front call. Godinay has it. Speaking of which, I'm loving the shoes he's got on, by the way. The pink, shiny, I can't remember what they're called. We saw them last week, but they are a damn good pair of shoes, that's for sure. See Jason Ralph take a very deep 3-point shot from the top of the key. Speaking of shoes, though, Kyle Harvey also wearing the pink shoes. Stand out more than anything else on the floor, that's for sure. Tendakai Machando taking a deep 3 as well. Unable to make it. Jake Allen with the rebound. Does the dance around the keyway by himself and finds the left-hand jump shot for 2. Shot clock down to single digits. Harvey with it, taking on the big man, Tyrell Harrison. He fires away, but can't get it to roll. Coach Rich is asking about the foul there as Harrison jumped somewhat into Harvey after the ball had left his fingers. But nevertheless, it is a 1-point gap. Ipswich in the lead. Southwest now with a chance to change that. They find the cutting Lockie Venus on the baseline, but they're going to get the foul call. Thought they might have called out of bounds for a second there. They'll get a foul against Kyle Harvey. So Southwest getting the ball from the inbound. 14 seconds back on the shot clock. Nick Stoddart checking back in for the Pirates as well. Risky pass getting tipped by Harrison, by Harvey, ending up with Stoddart. He fires. He misses. Venus with the rebound, finds Allen on the inside, and Allen finds the bottom of the net. Good offensive passage play there from the Southwest Pirates. Really passing the ball around, and note a single player was being selfish in that one, and they just found the right opportunity to take the bucket. To come down the other end, Jason Ralph going by himself, manages to get the foul call against Nick Stoddart. Sorry, against Marty Leahy. I clearly can't read fingers this afternoon. And Marty Leahy going to get checked out for the Pirates. Ipswich Force also going to the bench as well. Godinay checking out and Garrett Hall checking back in. The big man Bishop on the inside trying to go to work. Can't get the ball to drop, but coming down again with another offensive rebound for the Force. As Ralph kicks out to Hall. He fakes, dishes off to Ralph. Ralph fires. Can't quite get that one to fall though. Southwest coming down with the defensive boards. As Onwas finds a cutting Venus who kicks out to Allen. Over to Onwas, back to Venus. Venus fires and makes the bucket, and we've got a foul underneath on the inside as well. So we're going to call the points counted and have a foul against Kane Bishop underneath against Tyrell Harrison. So Southwest made the bucket and they'll get the ball back. And Bishop getting subbed out by Coach Richards after that foul. He's going to be replaced by Josh Spears. And just getting the shot clock reset to 24 seconds because the basket was made, so we get 24 on the shot clock. Pass straight inbounds. Jake Allen fires a three, but that one no good. But Southwest going to work. Good steal from Princeton Onwas to get it back to Venus to fire a nice little inside layup. Ipswich Force definitely not happy with what's going on the floor. Coach Rich is going to go and call the timeout. So timeout on the floor for the Force. We're going to take a break as well, but stick around because we'll have more action for you shortly in your QBL Round 14 game of the week. And back with you here, it's 26-31. The Southwest Metro Pirates finding their way in the lead by 5. Jason Ralph for the Force taking on a very strong defense from Jake Allen on the hip. They find Kyle Harvey open on the left-hand side. He fires away, but Lockie Venus gets him quite high after the shot, so they're going to get the ball back. So Kyle Harvey getting... Sorry, not Kyle Harvey. Lockie Venus getting the foul call after the shot. So the Force going to get the ball back on the sideline. There wasn't much Venus could argue about that one. That was definitely quite hard contact up high. But the Force are going to turn the ball over with a backcourt. Jason Ralph saying that the ball was touched by Stoddart. But Stoddart not having a bar of it, saying he didn't touch it. And referees agreeing, so they'll get the ball back. So not a good turnover there from the Force. Southwest maintains their 5-point lead. Ball lands in the hands of Stoddart. They find Venus on the inside, who finds Harrison. Harrison goes to work, finds a cutting Venus, and Venus puts it away. Another great offensive movement there by Southwest, really just making that additional pass wherever they possibly can to make sure that they get the ball in the hands of the most open person available. And coming down to the Ipswich end of the court again, Stoddart again going to get called for a foul off the ball. So lots going on off the ball. Sorry, that's going to go against Lockie Venus. Nick Stoddart was up in arms questioning it. I just assumed the foul was on him, but they're going to get it against Venus. So again, a lot of contact going on off the ball, and the referees really keeping that under control and making sure that nothing gets out of hand. Ipswich brings the ball in from out of bounds. Spears taking it to the top of the three. His three no good though. Princeton Onwas pulling a big board over the top of Harvey. Stoddart's pass is stolen, but then it's stolen back again off Pool Lane. Harrison on the inside finds a cutting Venus, and Venus again gets the finger roll to fall. The Harrison-Venus team up is just electrifying here this afternoon. Those two working together incredibly well underneath. Harrison taking up a lot of space and just finding that nice good dish off to Harvey, to Venus, as everyone sort of crowds in on him. But then coming down the other end of the court, we got another foul against the Pirates. That'll be their 4th team foul. And Nick Stoddart going to get subbed off on that occasion as well, as we see Hall going to the line for 2. That foul there was Stoddart's second personal foul as Hall makes the free throw. The gap still 6, Southwest in the lead. Again, strong ball movement from the Pirates. Vines with it now. Tries to find Harrison on the inside, but good hands there from Harvey, who steals it. Harvey's pass stolen by Onwas. Onwas finds Harrison inside, and Harrison kind of stuffs up the dunk, but still manages to get the ball to fall for 2. But straight down the other end, and a big offensive foul called against Kyle Harvey, and that is incredibly good defense by Christian Pang. He kept his ground, could not have been straighter, and Harvey went right over the top of him for the charge. Southwest really playing a good game of ball here tonight. Defensively and offensively, they're really working as a team and doing a lot of things right. Venus's pass inside to Harrison didn't go to plan, but he got the ball back, fired away the shot, but we're going to get a foul on the inside against Tyrell Harrison. And that's going to be his second personal foul as well. And we're going to walk to the other end of the floor as well for the 2 free throws, because that'll be their 5th team foul. So we see Lockie Venus check out for the Pirates. Troy Thompson checking back in. Spears from the line for 2 makes the first. And the second. Lead back down to 6 points for Southwest. Just under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. As Troy Thompson finds Princeton Onwas on the corner. Onwas' pass to Thompson. Doesn't quite find him and goes out of bounds. Onwas and Thompson both claiming there was a tip in there. But referee's going to settle with an Ipswich out of bounds ball. Spears wide open for 3. Not a hand inside, and he drains it. Nothing but net. Lead it down to 3. A little bit of miscommunication from the Southwest defense. No one on him. We see Christian Pang going to work on the inside. Dishes out to a wide open Vines, he's in and out. And the pass up the court, stolen by Vines as well. Incredibly fast feet, managing to get in front of that one as we see Onwas try and fire a jumper, but that a little bit too strong. As there's a big offensive foul call there against Garrett Hall, leading with the arm up high into the chest of Onwas. So Garrett Hall getting called again for the offensive foul. Quite a few of those falling against Ipswich. The Force now also on 4 personal fouls with just over 3.5 minutes to go in the second. Christian Pang finds a cutting Harrison on the inside. He spins and shoots left, straight over the top of Poulane. Ralph with it now, but the ball is stolen by Princeton Onwas. Troy Thompson recovering it, dishes off to Vines. Vines dishes to Harrison. Harrison with the left hand finds the bottom of the net. Down the other end, and Spears with the left-hand layup as well. Tyrell Harrison a little bit too over-eager, trying to get the rejection. Just bowling into Spears, taking him out. So they're going to call the foul after the shot for the baseline pass. But team fouls will be called, so we're going to have 2 free throws anyway. And that'll be Harrison's 3rd personal foul as well. Very unlucky for the big man. He's been having a great game of ball so far, sitting on 8 points, 3 assists, and a couple of rebounds as well. So he'll get checked out, getting replaced by James Ringholt. So we see Spears on the line for 2. Spears goes 2 from 2, closing the gap down to 5. Pirates still with the advantage. See Ipswich moving into a full court press, which Southwest break easily with that little up court pass to Troy Thompson. So Onwest tries to break fast and hand off to Ringholt. No good though. And Garrett Hall coming down with the steal. Full steam ahead, but just has to pull up last minute as Ralph makes a dish out. It's now in the hands of Kwan. Kwan drives center of the key, fires away. Spears with the offensive rebound and the putback for 2, closing the gap down to 3. So 3 points the difference. We're 2.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Jake Allen getting ready to check back in with the last couple of minutes to go. Troy Thompson, just a little bit of a heat check there. No one coming out to him, so he thought he'd fire away. There's a contest on the rebound there. Foul getting called against Jason Ralph. So I'm going to see some free throws here for the Pirates. Not too sure who's going to get them. It's going to be James Ringholt, so he's going to step up for 2 shots. Ringholt makes the first. Can't make the second. Loose ball on the rebound. Comes down in the hands of Jake Allen, who finds a cutting Vines, who goes straight to work and finds the right-hand layup for 2. Hall going to work on the inside for the Force. Can't quite get it to fall. Jake Allen, after the ball being tipped around, manages to come down with it. Finds Onwas on the other side of the court, who goes to work, tries to drive inside. But there's a foul again off the ball. That one going against James Kwan. And James Ringholt, I believe, again going to get to step up to the line for a couple of free throws with the foul off the ball. First free throw there from Ringholt is good. The second is also good. It is now a 7-point differential. The Pirates in the lead. Jason Ralph full steam ahead, kicks the ball out to Spears, finds an open Hall on the wing, and he fires away a wing 3. That was nothing but net. Spears absolutely on fire from deep. That'll be Spears' 4th from 7 3-pointers in the game. As we see Ryan Vines driving strong to the right-hand side. He takes the contact from Kwan, and the tip back there from Ringholt is good. Princeton Onwas picking up a sneaky little foul there on the right-hand side of the court. Definitely not what he would have wanted to have with a minute to go, ball at halfway, and then in penalties as well. So they're going to walk the rest of the way to the free throw line and get a couple of easy shots. And Onwas is going to get checked out, and he knows he's getting checked out after a silly foul like that. It'll be Onwas' second personal foul. Garrett Hall stepping up to the line for 2. He makes the first, putting him at 3 from 4 for the night. This to make him 4 from 5. And it's good. Just over a minute to go in the second quarter here. Southwest with it. Ipswich playing a nice tight press break, but they beat it again in exactly the same way they beat it the other time. Jake Allen with the left-hand layup just rolls over the back of the rim and out. Jason Ralph, nice little up-court pass there to Hall, and Hall manages to put it away. 2 points now, the lead for the Pirates in the second quarter. 45 seconds to go. Allen now uses the Thompson screen to drive left. Fires a nice, easy little finger roll there for 2. There's about a 10-second differential between game clock and shot clock, so Ipswich not going to hold out for the last shot of the game. As the shot clock rolls into single digits, Ralph needing to get to work here. The Kwan screen ineffective, but they find Hall in the corner. Hall fires, it's too far to the left. Allen with it, but he's got Vines with him. He drives straight into the chest, fires away the jumper, but it's no good. Ralph now with 2 seconds to go, kicks up to Hall. Hall's going to take the last shot, and it hits the back of the rim and out. We go into the halftime break, 46-50. The Southwest Metro Pirates just keeping their head above water as it's a 4-point game. And that will be the end of the half. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back at the end with a couple of updates in terms of stats and how things are going for both teams. But that is the halftime break. We have 15 minutes on the halftime clock. So go and grab a drink, but stick around because the last half of this very exciting game is going to be coming up for you shortly. And welcome back to the Pirate Ship. It is Hibiscus Sports Complex in your QBL round 13 game between the Southwest Metro Pirates and the Ipswich Force. After an incredible first half of basketball, Southwest Metro currently in the lead by 5 over the Force, 50-45. But as we all know and we've all seen in the past, Southwest doesn't have the best track record in the second half of basketball, so they're going to need to do a very tough job of keeping themselves in this game and coming out absolutely firing in this third quarter, because if they don't keep on top of this game, they could quite easily still go down despite the good lead they have currently over the Force. Looking at the first half stats, there is still a good point spread across the Southwest Metro team, with Tyrell Harrison having 8, Jake Allen on 13, Lockie Venus 10, Princeton Onwas 7, James Ringholt 7. So a nice consistent spread across the entire team. And similar situation for the Force as well. You got Josh Beers well and truly out in front on 17, Garrett Hall on 11, Jason Ralph on 7, and Alec Godinay on 4 closely behind them. So a very good point spread across the teams. And the rebounding situation is much the same as well. There's 21 total rebounds for Southwest, 25 for the Force. However, 13 of those are offensive. So they are doing a very good job offensively in crashing the boards and pulling down those rebounds. So a very good job across the board. No one is over 4 rebounds in the Ipswich Force team, so they are getting shared around quite consistently. But on the Southwest side of things, Jake Allen has 6. So one of the shorter players in the team still managing to pull close to the most, well, he is pulling the most rebounds in this game so far. But as we get back to the action on the floor in front of us here, we see Josh Spears on the line for 2. He makes the first and the second. So we're down to a 3-point margin now for the Pirates. Not the start they would have wanted. They would want the first points on the board. So we see Southwest doing a good job of spreading the floor and trying to drag out the Ipswich players from inside the key. We see Thompson's pass almost stolen. He gets it back, almost turns it over again. Onwas comes down with it, and Onwas gets the points. But Josh Spears down the other end of the court with a huge full court break and dunk. Southwest really letting their defense fall on that occasion. Onwas made the bucket, but no one hustled to get back in defense, allowing Spears to make that fast break and throwing it down on the other end of the floor. But Onwas going to work over the top of Josh Spears and then getting fouled from behind on Mitchell Poulane. I think he must have come in from the side, because Josh Spears looked like he was in front playing good D, but Poulane getting the foul on that occasion. Onwas making the bucket and 1. Onwas makes the free throw, taking the lead back out to 6 for the Pirates. Hall with it now for the Force. Screen there from Poulane. Hall pulls up at the top of the key, fires a nice easy jumper that hits nothing but net. Southwest working the ball inside. They find Onwas on the inside, and that looked too easy. Puts the ball away and draws the foul. That one going against Kyle Harvey. So Southwest are doing a lot right early on in this quarter, getting the and 1 plays. So Onwas getting another opportunity for the 3-point play. Doesn't get it on that occasion. A little bit too strong, hitting the back of the rim. See Kyle Harvey spinning down the other end of the court, and they're going to call the foul against Jake Allen. As Harvey's bucket finds its way into the bottom of the net. Allen looking like he was up straight, but referee's just saying he stepped into them and got the pushing foul. So we'll see Harvey step up to the line for 1. The lead down to 4. And Harvey's bucket is good. And a turnover there for Southwest, so Ipswich going to come down with it. Southwest not having a strong game of ball when it comes to turnovers, unfortunately. They do have the highest statistic in this game. They've turned the ball over 13 times. Ipswich only 9. So definitely not one of their strong points. It's something they're going to want to clean up in this second half of basketball. As we see Harvey taking a very rushed shot. They're going to call Onwas for the foul. It did look like Harvey was the one initiating a lot of the contact. But nevertheless, they have Onwas for the foul, and Harvey going to go to the line for 2. Lead now down to only 2 for the Pirates. Things are starting to get nice and tight. In Southwest, another missed opportunity there. Garrett Hall coming down with the rebound, looking to make the break. You see the ball end up with Kyle Harvey, and he makes a very deep 2 to tie the game at 57 apiece. So Ipswich at the moment, they've taken out this third quarter so far. Southwest going to try and do some work to get it back again, as we see Troy Thompson with a nice fake and right-hand hook on the inside. Harvey with it again, hands off for Spears, wide open at the top of the 3, and Spears makes another triple from the top of the key. He is firing from three-point land. He is 4 from 7 from deep, so he's been hitting some big points. So we jump down to the other end, and we see the foul called there against Ipswich. That one's going to go against Godinay. As we see Tyrell Harrison stepping back into the game for the first time in quite some time. He was sitting on 3 fouls for a long period of time. So it's good to see the big man back in the game, and hopefully he's able to make a difference. But Southwest, they just need to be able to plug those turnovers, as we see Hall try and throw down a dunk but can't make it. Chris Richards is just in disarray after the missed dunk. The easiest opportunity to get some points on the board and extend the lead. It doesn't hurt them too much, as Troy Thompson's jumper can't find the bottom of the net. But Josh Spears turning the ball over out of bounds, so Southwest going to get it back again. So both teams just in a little bit of a rut at the moment. Missed shots, turning the ball over. No one playing a good, clean, consistent third quarter of basketball at the moment. Ryan Vines on the right-hand three-point wing hits the 3 ball to take the lead back for the Pirates. It's 62-60, so they've got it back again. As we see Kwan try and fire a step-back jump shot himself, but that one's no good either. So Jake Allen loses control while dribbling baseline. Good defense there from the Force, forcing him to lose control on the base. See Christian Pang checking back in for the Pirates. Troy Thompson getting checked out. Hall with a step back jump shot for a very deep 2. That finds its way to the bottom of the net. .62 apiece, a nice tied game. We see Tyrell Harrison with a spin move on Kwan, dishes off to Onwas, and Onwas goes to work, but it looks like Harrison may have hurt his ankle in the process. He's feeling a little bit of pain in the right foot, I think. He must have just spun a little bit awkwardly. Hopefully the big man's doing all right, as he's got the tough job of manning up on Spears, but Spears breaks through him, hands off to Kwan, and Kwan can't get the ball to roll on the inside. But Harrison is going to find himself getting the foul on the inside. My apologies, it wasn't a foul, it was a goaltending. So the basket's going to count for Quan. Southwest taking the ball in from the baseline. We're locked at 64 apiece. Nice fake out there from Pang and dishing off to Vines. Vines kicks out to Stoddart. Stoddart finds Onwas, and they've got 6 on the shot clock, so need to get to work. Nick Stoddart breaks left around Ralph, way too soft on the floater, hitting the front of the rim. Ralph coming down with a defensive board for the Force. Quan working hard inside against Pang. He's got himself a big mismatch. If he can get to the bucket, he'll find some points, and he does. There's an unfortunate mismatch there for Pang. Quan has probably a full head, and I don't know what his arm span is, but there was not a good mismatch there for Pang. So 2 points now, the lead for the Force. Vines with it for the Pirates as the shot clock rolls down to 1. But a bad pass from Vines ends in a Hall turnover, and he's not game to try the dunk on that occasion. Just decides to end it with a nice little finger roll for the 2. Vines deciding to do things himself as he takes a very deep 3-point shot. That one's no good. As we're just under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, the Ipswich Force up by 4. Quan finding himself way too close under the basket, hitting the bottom of the rim as he tries to fire. As Onwas breaks around Ralph, drives himself, dishes off a Pang, who fires for 3 and hits the bottom of the net, getting nothing but the net. Lead back down to 1 for the Force, but they're not going to have a bar of that. Harvey finds a 3 of his own to take the lead back to 4. Pang fakes out Hall, dishes off for Stoddart. Ralph, a little bit of contact there as Ryan Vines tries to break around. Dishes off to Onwas to Harrison, and Harrison makes the bucket underneath. Harrison been having a great game of basketball here tonight. And good defense there from Harrison as well. He knows he's sitting on 3 fouls and can't get any more. He'll be sitting on the bench again. So good D from the young man. But a bad pass there from Onwas, turning it over straight into the hands of Spears. It's still 2 points the difference. Force still in front. Pang trying to reach around Quan, getting himself on the foul. That's no real concern there for Pang, though. That's only his first foul of the night, so not in any trouble. So we see the Force going to the bench. Hall checking out. Bishop checking in. Southwest Onwas checking out. And Marty Leahy checking in. Very risky pass there from Harvey, and it does go out of bounds on the full as well. So Southwest is going to get the ball back from the baseline. Been very unusual to see a turnover like that for the Force in this game. They've been doing a pretty good job of protecting the pill. I think it was just a little bit too ambitious there from Kyle Harvey. But good defense there from the Pirates as well, as we see Vines take a left corner 3, and he hits it to take the lead back for the Pirates. It is 71-72. Pirates in front by 1. And good defense there from Ringholt underneath, a big man. That's 2 good stop possessions in a row from the Pirates, preventing the Force from putting points on the board. Stoddart almost losing the ball. Vines, heat check, no good. Harvey coming down with the defensive boards. They're still in front with 1.5 to go in the third. Harvey going to work over Pang. Bounces off the back of the rim and the backboard to find the bottom of the net. They take the lead back by 1. It's been a seesaw of the third quarter here. Stoddart taking a 3-bomb of his own. A little bit too ambitious. Couldn't quite find the net. Christian Pang, though, with the offensive rebound. Hands off to Stoddart. Stoddart drives baseline for the Pirates for 2. Lead back in Pirates' favour. 40 seconds to go on the game clock. There is a differential of 20 seconds with the shot clock, so Ipswich, they'll hold for the second last shot of the game, possibly the third. So the ball is stripped out of the hands by Pang. There seems to be a little bit of confusion by the referees, but they are going to give it back to the Pirates. There's 5 seconds difference, so Pirates not going to take the last shot. Vines wide open, hands off to Pang though. Pang fires a deep 3. Kwan coming down with the rebound for the Force. Kwan deciding to go himself. Hands off to Bishop. Bishop trying to fire over Pang, can't make it happen. And Bishop knocks the ball out of court. So great defensive effort there from Pang. 7 seconds in the game. Southwest will take the last chance to shoot. As Jason Ralph fires Nick Stoddart, who throws a random floater. And Ralph is incredibly annoyed at himself. Who would have thought that a random shot like that was ever going to go in? But what a take. And Nick Stoddart could see that the ball was, could see that Ralph was going to foul, deciding to throw the ball up and somehow managed to bank it home. What an incredibly lucky shot for Stoddart. And to finish it off, he makes the free throw for the 4-point play. But Kwan is going to get the last shot of the game, or he dishes off. But the shot can't be made in the corner by Godinay. But what an interesting finish to the quarter there for Nick Stoddart. What a shot. 73-78. Southwest going into the 3-quarter break. They're up 5. But it is quarter time, so we're going to take a break, but be back with you shortly with the last quarter of this incredible game of ball between the Southwest Metro Pirates and the Ipswich Force. And welcome back to Hibiscus Sports Complex. It's a 5-point game. The Southwest Metro, they started going down early in that third quarter, but managed to fight their way back into it. So they're leading by 5, but they were down by as much as 4 in that third quarter. But doing an incredible job to get their way back into it. A lot of that work coming from Nick Stoddart with that great shot of ball at the very end. Because who would have expected that to go in? But there's a big foul underneath, and the unsportsmanlike foul getting called against James Kwan for the big hit to the back of Ringholt from Southwest. So while we're taking the free throws there for the unsportsmanlike foul, just to cover off a couple of quick statistics from the third quarter. On your Southwest Metro Pirates, you got 4 players shooting in double digits. Princeton Onwas leading the team on 16, Ryan Vines on 11, Jake Allen on 13, Tyrell Harrison on 12. So a lot of point sharing among all the players. James Ringholt also on 7 coming off the bench, and Lockie Venus on 8. So a great job of spreading the points all around. Rebound-wise, again, very good job across the board. Jake Allen still sitting on 6. Harrison on 4 and Onwas on 4 as well. Jumping down to your Ipswich Force, Josh Spears leads all scorers on 24, closely followed by Garrett Hall on 17 and Kyle Harvey on 13. So not as big a point spread overall. A lot of the work being done by Garrett Hall and Josh Spears. And Southwest shooting at an awesome 54.2%, where 32 of 59 from the field versus 26 of 54 from the field for 48% for the Force. But they have been doing a great job on the board. So they're 32 rebounds versus Southwest 28. So doing a good job to try and pull those boards. But Southwest's biggest disadvantage and what is going to cost them the game if they don't clean it up, they're sitting on 18 turnovers versus 12 for Ipswich. So if Southwest can't control the ball, look after it, protect the pill, and not do silly things like we just saw Marty Leahy do there, then they're going to find it very, very hard to get themselves into this game if they can't protect the ball and they keep turning it over like that. Because to just look at the stat sheet in front of me, your points from turnovers, Ipswich has scored 21 points off turnovers versus Southwest 16. So they're capitalizing on the fact that we can't control the ball and we're losing it and then turning it over. As we see Ryan Vines turn the ball over on another occasion to the steal there. So Ipswich with another opportunity to capitalize on the loss of control from Southwest. See Harvey step up to a free throw and manages to sink that one home. And 3 turnovers in a row for the Pirates. I said it from the very start of the quarter. If we can't control the ball, we're not going to be able to win the game of ball. But that's 3 possessions in a row where Southwest has turned the ball over on silly mistakes and bad passes that don't need to be made. So that one we'll see Christian Pang checking out of the game early in the 4th. He got checked out by Nick Stoddart, who's been having an incredible game of basketball as well for a young kid. Sitting on a massive 18 plus minus. He scored 16 points and doing a great job all around. He hasn't put a lot of points or a lot of rebounds on the board, but he has been doing a really good job of just playing good, strong, tough defense and also making good passes to help his teammates out and get them set up for good opportunities. So Southwest with another opportunity here. They just need to slow things down and protect the ball to try and find the open opportunity. They did a good job of it in the first half. They just need to do it again here now. As we see Tendakai Machando, he fires one from deep into the 2. Loose pass there from James Ringholt. Onwas manages to somehow keep his handles on it and puts it away. Ralph with it now against Tendakai Machando. Drives left, kicks out to Hall. Hall takes on Nick Stoddart, fires over the top of him and banks the 2. Marty Leahy driving straight into the chest of Bishop on that occasion, trying to fire away the loose one. Ipswich came down with it. Now they're going to work on the inside. Kyle Harvey, he's going to drive to the bucket but get the foul from Marty Leahy. Good recognition there from Harvey. And we're going to have subs both ways, but to quickly go and check out the out-of-town scoreboard, up in Mackay in the 4th quarter, your Mackay Meteors, 103, way out in front over the Sunshine Coast Phoenix on 86. You've got the Brisbane Capitals 112 defeating the Southern District Spartans on 80. And over in Logan, you've got Logan Thunder on 96, smashing the Cairns Marlins on 64. So a couple of big games all around the state today. And obviously we got our game here in front of us, 82-78. The Southwest Metro Pirates leading the Ipswich Force with about 7 minutes to go as we see Kyle Harvey make another free throw to close the gap down to 3. Southwest going to maintain possession out of bounds. There's 11 seconds on the shot clock. Shot clock on single digits as Jake Allen goes to work. He drives across the key and rolls it home with the left hand. But Garrett Hall on the fast break taking on Tendakai Machando, and they get Machando for the foul. Thompson checking in for the Pirates. He'll sub out Marty Leahy. Garrett Hall making the first. And Tyrell Harrison, the ball was surely in, but gets his hands underneath it and flicks it out of the bucket. What a save from Tyrell Harrison. Southwest now as Princeton onwards flips one home. A little bit too strong and it bounces out, and Harrison on the rebound just steps out of court before firing a very good deep two. It's a 4-point game here at the Pirate Ship on the Harry Haxton court. 80-84, Southwest Metro in the lead. Garrett Hall stepping up to close the gap as he fires a deep three for the Force. The gap now 1. Harrison tries to dish off to Thompson, but his pass is stolen by Spears. Hall finds a cutting Jason Ralph out on the three. He fires away and it's in and out. Princeton onwards fires a deep two, and Garrett Hall again on the fast break. He's wide open on his own and gets it home for 2. That's about the 4th opportunity that Hall's had on that fast break, and Southwest still hasn't recognized. You cannot shoot the ball and not get the rebound and let Hall make the break like that. He's done it on 4 occasions. He missed 1 dunk, but the other 3, he's managed to get the ball in on the layup. So you've got to recognize that that's going to happen and find a way to prevent it. As soon as there's no help defense coming up to halfway the minute we take a shot, which is something that you're taught from a very young age, and the Pirates aren't recognizing that when we take a shot, someone needs to step back and prevent that fast break, because that is going to be a killer, especially late in this stage. There is a timeout on the floor, though, so we're going to take a quick break, but stick around. There's 5 minutes to go. It's a 1-point game, and it's against the Southwest Metro Pirates and the Ipswich Force. Stick around. And back with you here. We've got 5 minutes 20 to go in this QBL game of the week. It's a 1-point game. The Force in the lead at the moment, 85-84 over your Southwest Metro Pirates. But again, turnovers just riddling the Pirates game of ball as Jake Allen turns it over. Garrett Hall going to work on the inside for the bucket, and he'll get the foul as well. That's going to go against Tendakai Machando. So the lead up to 3 for the Force with 1 shot to go for Garrett Hall. The Pirates not playing a smart game of basketball. They've got themselves up to 23 turnovers against Ipswich's 12. And the capitalization from the Force on those turnovers has been massive, as they find themselves with a 4-point lead late into this 4th quarter. Troy Thompson fires a 3, no good. Princeton onwards manages to try and recover the rebound, but loses control out of bounds. as women's coach Jason Cheney comes out onto the floor to mop up a little bit of sweat. Spears bringing the ball in for Ipswich. Hall has it, bringing it up the court. Garrett Hall wide open on the three over Jake Allen. He drops it. The lead up to 7 for the Force. Southwest finding themselves in a little bit of trouble late in the fourth here, needing to get some points on the board. Thompson with it now, kicks across court to Allen. Allen fakes out Harvey, drives inside, hands off to Harrison. Harrison can't find the finger roll, and Harrison picks up the foul, accidentally taking out. Can't quite see who it is that hit the deck. But the foul is not going to get called on Harrison. It's going to get called against Jake Allen. I'm not too sure how that happened. It looked 100% like it was Tyrell Harrison just losing his footing and bowling straight into the Force player. I think it was Poulain that ended up being on the ground there. But either way, the Force are going to get the ball. They're up by 7. Southwest, again, unable to capitalize and losing control of the ball without any points on the board. As Harvey for the Force uses the Poulain screen. Hall almost turning it over with a strong en-masse defense. Harrison, big defense on Garrett Hall, but Hall still manages to finish, putting down an all-important bucket for the Force, trying to nail the coffin on the Pirates. Harrison with the turnaround one-hand jumper. That bounces out. We're going to get the jump ball here as well, and that's going to favor the Force as Coach Downer goes to the bench for a timeout. So they're going to take a break. We're going to have one as well. The Southwest Metro Pirates got a lot to talk about. They're down by 9 with 3.5 minutes to go in the fourth. And back with you here at Hibiscus Sports Complex. There's 3.5 minutes to go. Your Pirates are down by 9, but plenty of time to get themselves back into the game. Just need to get a couple of big stops here late in the fourth quarter. As Garrett Hall has it. Spears fires a deep three, but that's no good. Troy Thompson coming down with the rebound. Jake Allen with it now for the Pirates. Hands over to Captain Vines. And a foot violation there from Jason Ralph. So Pirates going to get a handy extra 3 seconds on the shot clock. Jake Allen with it now. Hands off to Ringholt on the inside. Ringholt tries to go to the bucket. Can't get the ball to fall, but he'll pick up the foul. And that's going to go against Jake Harvey. And that'll be Harvey's 4th personal foul. So Harvey finding himself in a little bit of foul trouble there. He's the only player on the floor on 4 fouls. Everyone else only on 3s or less across the game. As Ringholt manages to make the first. Ringholt's second is no good. James Kwan coming down. So 8 points the difference here. We're under 3 minutes to go. Jason Ralph from the Ipswich Force has it. He drives right, takes the contact from Onwas, fires the reverse layup for 2 and draws the foul against Princeton Onwas. The Force finding themselves up by 10 with the possibility to get the extra here from Jason Ralph as well. Ipswich Force having an absolutely blinding 4th quarter of basketball here. They have scored 20 points versus Southwest's 7. Ralph sinks the and one for the 3-point play. It's now an 11-point difference, under 3 minutes to go. The Pirates not in a good position late in the 4th. As we see Vines on the far left wing. His 3-point shot's no good. Hall comes down with it. But Ipswich going to slow things down and waste some clock here. Ralph is defended by Onwas. Takes the screen from Kwan. Fires the 3, and he is over the moon with that one. Sinking home the nothing but net 3-point to take the lead out to 14 for the Force. It is dire days for the Pirates. They're going to need to make something happen as Vines kicks out Jake Allen's 3. That's no good either. Ball out of bounds favoring Ipswich. Just not a thing going wrong for the Force in this 4th quarter. They've been having an incredible game of basketball. Ralph breaks through the press, kicking the ball up to Garrett Hall. They've got single digits on the shot clock now. Ralph has it. He's double teamed. They find an open Spears. Spears drives down the center of the court. He takes the contact from Ringholt and will go to the line for 2. Spears makes the first to put the Force into the triple digits. The second is good also. Coach Down are going to take the timeout. They're down 16. We're going to take a timeout as well, but we'll be back with you for the last minute and a half of the QBL Round 13 Game of the Week very soon. And back with you here at Clump Road Hibiscus Sports Complex. It's a 16-point game. The Pirates down by 16 in this all-important game. The Force have had probably the best fourth quarter of basketball I've seen them play this season, just bringing out all the stops. They've gone 28-7 over the Pirates in this fourth. An absolutely incredible achievement as we see Princeton Onwas going, putting all on the line and going to the bucket himself, drawing the foul there from Joshua Spears. And that'll be Spears' fourth personal foul as well. Onwas is going to go to the line for a couple of shots, though it might be a little too late at this point in time. Onwas' first is no good. Second is good. He puts the Pirates to 86. Ralph with it now for the Force. There's 1 minute to go. Ryan Vines marking up nice and tight on Jason Ralph. They find a wide open Garrett Hall on the far corner of the court. His three-point shot, no good. Captain Vines with it now for the Pirates. Finds a cutting Onwas, but he's stripped. And the ball comes off his knee as well, so the Force are going to get the ball back again. I cannot emphasize it enough. Nothing is going wrong for the Force in this fourth quarter of basketball. They have turned a 5-point deficit into a 15-point lead. Jason Ralph with it now, passes the ball over the top of Vines. Hall kicks across the court. Harvey goes strong and he lays one in for two. 30 seconds to go. It's a, can't do math, 27-point game. 17, sorry. Loose ball on the ground and Ipswich manages to come down with it. Looks like Christian Pang may have gotten hurt in the process, maybe a bit of contact in one of his eyes. As Harvey throws down a dunk on top of Marty Leahy. Leahy coming in from the side to try and get the stop. But that was not going to stop him from going over the top and throwing that one down over him. Ten seconds to go. It's 105-86. The Southwest Metro Pirates are not going to come away with the win. James Kwan picks up a last-minute foul with 5 seconds to go. But Christian Pang is going to need to check himself out. There was a little bit of contact on his eye. He's not able to see right. So James Ringhold going to sub in his place for the last 5 seconds of the fourth quarter here. Ball inbounded by the Pirates. Allen kicks across the court. Vines has it on the three-point line. His three is flat, and that is that. 86-105. From a 5-point lead going into three-quarter time, the Ipswich Force came out with all guns blazing in the fourth to absolutely dominate the Pirates on that occasion. It was well and truly evenly matched up until that point in time. But the Force came away with a 32-8 fourth quarter of basketball, something that the Pirates will not be happy about, but all the credit has to go to the Force because they took that game to the absolute line and put everything down in that last quarter when it really mattered and came away with a massive, massive victory over the Pirates. And what a game they had. So that about wraps things up. We'll quickly touch on a couple of key stats for both teams. Leading all scorers on the Pirates, Princeton Onwas ended with 19, 7 assists and 5 rebounds. Did also have 6 turnovers, unfortunately. Tyrell Harrison ended on 12. He had 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Ryan Vines, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists and 5 turnovers as well. And Jake Allen coming off the bench with 24 minutes. He put down 15 points, 7 rebounds and a couple of assists as well. So again, they ended on the one stat they would not be happy with is 24 turnovers, a lot of those coming in that fourth quarter. But the credit has to come down to the Ipswich Force boys. Garrett Hall leading all scorers in the game on 33 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, closely followed by Josh Spears on 26. He hit a massive 50% from the three-point line, hitting 4 from 8. Also pulled 7 rebounds, an assist, and a couple of turnovers as well. Kyle Harvey also getting into the 20-point mark on 21 points, shooting a whopping 50% from the field and pulling down a couple of free throws. And they also had Jason Ralph on 13 as well. So what a great game of basketball. Unfortunate to see the Pirates go down, but the Ipswich Force had one of the best fourth quarters I've ever seen in the season of QBL this year. A massive, massive turnaround to come from 5 points down. It's 105-86. Thanks again for watching. Got to quickly thank everyone that's helped me out on the stream tonight. I got Matt Brown up on the camera for me, Joel Baker on the production panel. My name is Regan Baker. Thanks again for tuning in. This is the last game of the season for the QBL Pirates before we move into quarterfinals and semifinals, which will likely be covered by either myself or the Nothing But Net media crew. But the games will be covered, especially for the girls making it into semis and quarterfinals, and hopefully the boys do as well. So we will see you then. Thanks again for tuning in.